All right, we're here outside the Mayweather Boxing Club with judge and boxing referee Robert Hoyle. First of all, Robert, before we get into what I want to talk to you about, what's it like getting there, getting some training as being a referee? I know you've done a little bit, but how's that going?
You know, it's getting a little rusty starting out the year, but I'm getting a little warmed up. I'll be back next week to get warmed up even more.
Right. What's it like having Robert Bird in there giving you tips? And
he's a hard man to please, but I tell you what, he's keeping me on my P's and Q's, constantly bombarding me with scenarios, positioning, as you heard at ringside, watching my distance. You know, I need him. He's like a guardian angel.
Right. Yeah. Money aside, that was no issue. Great night of boxing for you. Would it be being a referee or a judge?
It's my passion. Refereeing is my passion, so money is not even an object.
All right. Well, the one thing I want to ask you about, as we know, Keith Kizer stepping down, Nevada State Athletic Commission. Just your thoughts on him, you know, what he's done for the sport. Very controversial figure for a lot of folks. What were your thoughts about him and the job he did while he was there?
Well, you know, Keith was a professional, and I believe that he was very consistent in his behavior with everyone. One thing I do say is, for the judges and referees, he raised their level of professionalism in the sport that I've witnessed personally here in the state of Nevada. I think he made all of us elevate our game to want to be better officials. And he also, you know, extended a hand to bring in other officials to come work here, which is a privilege to a lot of officials. And I'm blessed to be able to work here. And for him to bring other guys in, it shows that his openness to want to make the sport better.
Right. Well, those of us in the MMA and the boxing media, we might not know what goes on behind the scenes with that kind of stuff with the training, but what we do see, and the thing that gets him a lot of heat has been some of his reactions or lack of reaction to different things. For example, the C.J. Ross with the Floyd Mayweather, him, you know, saying it was fine. It seems like he never has a problem with a judge's scorecard. How does that work behind the scenes? When I know anyone that's done the job long enough has given some controversial decisions. You've done it so yourself with Marquez and Pacquiao. People didn't like that. What goes on behind the scenes when you give a decision? Does he talk to you? Does he back you? How does that work?
Well, myself, I seek him out. So to sit there and discuss what happened, to let him know my point of view, my perspective on what I saw in the fight. But I have seen him talk to other officials. We always have our post-fight meeting. So whatever's going on that night, Keith is very analytical. I mean, so he looks at the scorecards and he'll give his opinion. If he agrees, he agrees. If he doesn't agree, he'll let you know.
If it's a decision that's completely bogus and ridiculous, you know, because here's the one thing. Is it kind of an instance where he's backing his people to the camera, but maybe ripping them behind, kind of like a good coach will do? You know, is that the thing? I mean, is he put on a good face for the public, but let you have it behind him when you totally screw up? How does that work?
Well, you know, Keith was a great leader. I can't let you behind the curtain.
Right.
But Keith was a great leader, and when it came to development and pushing us to become better officials, he was definitely in that corner.
Right. So what do you think about new leadership coming in? Are you a little nervous how that'll affect you at all, or how do you think they'll carry on is after him?
Well, you know, I tell you, our commission has a big job ahead of them. This is the biggest job in boxing, and for them, they have to bring in the right person. They have to be the right fit. There's a lot of, you know, there's going to be a lot of hands out when they come into this job, and they got a tough job ahead of them. I know that they will pick the right person, and that person is going to be a well-rounded individual. They got some big shoes to fill. I mean, Mark made big shoes. Keith made those shoes even bigger by raising our level of professionalism. And this next guy, I mean, you know, in a sense, basically he could have an easier job because a lot of the hard work has already been done. And now he's just got to pick that ball up and run with it.
So for those people that, with Kizer, that, you know, don't like him or didn't appreciate what he did, what would you say to kind of tell them, you know, hey, they're wrong?
Well, you know what? I don't know why you didn't like the man. I tell you, one thing I do know, he's black, white. He says what he says, and he means what he says. If you disagree with him, agree to disagree, but move on. Be professional. Be professional, and you know, we're all in to make this sport better. Whether it's MMA, boxing, it doesn't matter. We're all trying to make it better.
Is it kind of one of those things too, like the referee, the judge, whatever? You don't notice them unless they screw up.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Right. And then just as far as, you know, we talked a little bit off camera about Dana White and that kind of thing. What about the way he handled things like that, where you know, he didn't really handle referees properly? Being as you're someone that's working and being a upcoming referee, I mean, you do it overseas, but trying to do here. What do you think about the way he's handled those kind of situations with referees that some people believe let fights go on too long, things like that?
Well, you know, I know that he studies that, and I know that he has in the past. You know, he'll bring in officials and he'll talk to them. So nothing happens undone. I mean, you know, if you do something bad, you're going to know about it. And so, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that that happens behind the scene. But if something's going on, trust me, he's dealing with it, or he's dealt with it.
All right. Well, when can we expect to see anything line up as far as boxing, judging, refereeing, otherwise?
Judging assignment in Laughlin, Nevada at the Edgewater. So if you're there and you're available, come on out and see us.
All right, Rob. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.